Okay, so now the fun begins. So what we're actually going to do now is install our Flubaroo script. So we click on the Tools menu. That's the key thing. Don't forget to click on the Tools menu. And then clicked on Script Gallery. If you want to start investigating, creating and using your own scripts, you can. It's not something that I'm very good at because it's really complicated, but using scripts is really easy. So all we need to do now is search for Flubaroo. And you won't forget what it's called because remember that's what the sheet's called. So I'm going to search for Flubaroo and just click on install. There we go, simple as that. Search for Flubaroo, then click on install. And we should be almost there. It's installing, it's installing, it's installing, and we should see a nice big green line pop up just there. And then it just asks us for authorization, so we should be good. Here we go, and I'm going to accept that authorization key. And what you'll now notice is that once I'm taken back to my quiz screen, and here we go, we're back there now, we'll close that down. You'll notice we've got an extra button up there which is called Flubaroo, so that's what the script's installed. So what we need to do now is we click on Flubaroo and we're able to actually work within Flubaroo and grade our assignment. That's right, grade our assignment. It is very cool. Okay, now what it's going to do first is it's going to ask me about the quiz that I created. And it's going to say, well, remember we put, and I can just see if I can flip back to our form, we put the name and email fields. Well, what did they do? Well, they identify the student. But back here, what are we going to do about these questions? Are we going to assign the same marks or different marks to those questions? And so you'll even notice you can skip grading or so that identifies the student. Now, I'm going to say that question's worth 2, and that one was pretty hard, so I'm going to make that question worth 4, and just click on continue. And that's the first step to grading complete. Now, our second step is where we need to make sure we've actually answered the quiz ourselves, okay, as the teacher, because we need one correct response. It doesn't need to be the first response, but it just makes it easy for you. So it's saying, which grade or which submission was the correct one, and we know that it was that first one there. Now, press continue, and can you believe it? That's it. That means that we have now completed our Flubaroo adventure. And you'll notice that once the screen pops up, you can see we've got a grades tab down here. This will ask me if I want to view my grades, which I do. There we go, grading's complete. And I'll have a look at my grades. There we go, I'll shut that window down. And you can see we've got 2 people because the first response was the correct response, so you can't grade against that. And remember I made sure that John had the correct answers. Oops, and you can see that he got 100%. He got a total of 6 points. And you can see, aha, there we go, that's where I went wrong as Joe, I got a 0, and we both got 4s here. So it's a really handy tool for us to be able to find out how our students are actually going. Which questions did they have trouble with, which questions didn't they have trouble with. So a very powerful tool for you to be able to use for pre and post testing. Okay, very, very useful. Alright, and we'll be back in just a minute. And you'll notice the second tab down there too, you can actually get this to be done multiple times. So I can come back and do a post test and actually mark the assignment again. How powerful is that? And you can of course compare results. Okay, and I'm just going to click on done and we'll come back in a moment with our last step today.